Good morning and welcome to DCT, Deep Coherence Technique, and take the DCT 28-day challenge. Now, today is day 16, and if you're just joining us for the first time, don't go anywhere because there may be a really powerful reason why you have picked us up today. And you can always go back over the other videos, but you can also just keep going with us as we continue to look at the habits that define our lives. So I'd like to welcome, just making sure, brilliant. Hello, Facebook. So day 16, there's a lot of moving parts in today's broadcast. Day 16 is the power of reverse psychology in overcoming bad habits. So, bad habits can weigh us down, not just because of their consequences, obviously, but also because of the guilt and the shame that they bring along. But what if the key to breaking free of some bad habits lies in not fighting them, but in doing them fully conscious? Now, bear with me on this. This is what psychologists call reverse psychology, and as any parent of a toddler or teenager will know, it works. So remember, the DCT 28-day challenge is a challenge to become whole, not perfect. So you and I are unique on this planet, flaws and all. We also have agency, we have free will, and we get to choose what stays and what goes in our life. So, for the next few days, we're going to be practicing something called integrate or release. Now, integration means to be made whole. And at the very root of that is acceptance. So, to accept ourselves. And there's a science behind acceptance. So I'm going to quote some stuff here. Studies suggest that acceptance plays a critical role in how we manage our habits. That's because acceptance is an act of self compassion. Research by Dr. Christine Neff, a pioneer in self compassion science, found that individuals who approach their weaknesses with curiosity rather than judgment were more, and condemnation, that's just the word that was coming through, more likely, beating ourselves up, we're more likely to adopt healthier behaviors over time. So, similarly, a 2012 study published in Psychology Science revealed that repressing or suppressing thoughts around a bad habit often increases their intensity, a phenomenon known as ironic process theory. In other words, by owning our habits and acknowledging their consequences, we release ourselves from the cycle of guilt and shame that keeps them alive in the first place. And here's some really good quotes. Oscar Wilde once said, famously, the only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Well, while provocative, I think this quote underscores the importance of understanding and experiencing our impulses before we try to control them. Carl Jung also emphasized this in his teachings, noting what you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. So today, we're going to be invited to go into any bad habit head on without any judgment and open up a space of what's underneath that habit. So, what is that habit trying to tell you? What is it trying to show you about you? So, we can open up a space of non condemnation. We can accept ourselves with compassion, understanding that much of what drives our bad habits are misplaced recovery attempts. So, this approach of full acceptance isn't observe and allow, which is what we practiced at the beginning of the 28 days. It's the step beyond that. It's acceptance, it's integration, and that's the pathway to wholeness. So, here are some tips today for accepting perhaps a bad habit. Number one, acknowledge without judgment. Write down your habit. What's the trigger? Why you engage in it? How often? And how does it affect you afterwards? How does it leave you feeling? This mindful practice of non judgmental acceptance will shift the focus from self criticism, beating ourselves up, to self awareness. Number two, reframe the narrative. Instead of labeling a habit as bad, view it as an unmet need or a coping mechanism. And you can ask yourself, what purpose is this habit serving right now? Number three, practice mindful indulgence. If your habit involves a behavior like, for example, overeating or procrastination, just consciously allow yourself to do it, but only do it with full awareness. So you really want to focus on what you're doing. The caveat here is no criticizing, no judgment, just be immersed in it. Now, that's not observer mode, that is immersion, and that's quite different. Number four, set boundaries with compassion. Accepting a habit doesn't mean surrendering it and losing control of our lives. We can set small, achievable goals to reduce hacking its impact while respecting our current situation and limitations. Number five, focus on the rippling out effects. Recognize how accepting your habit alleviates guilt and reduces stress and fosters a healthier mindset. Now, I think this is worth saying. There are exemptions around acceptance of bad habits. Self compassion isn't self indulgence. Self compassion isn't a blank check of self indulgence. If our habit is causing harm to ourselves or another, or if it takes away the rights from any other being, then we must weigh up the consequences of our actions. Because poor behavior, habits or otherwise, that affects others is never excusable. So if our habit is harming ourselves or another or others, then I'd like to urge you today immediately to go and get some help. It's really important that we make a distinction between what we're talking about here. So tomorrow, day 17, we're going to explore what our bad habits are trying to tell us. So when we pivot and reframe and take all of the guilt and shame out of it, we can begin to understand that our habits, positive or negative, dysfunctional or functional, are trying to tell us something unique and powerful about ourselves, but often we're not listening because we don't want to go there. So today we practice acceptance. We immerse ourselves consciously. We do not judge, but we do look at the clues and the triggers and how we feel afterwards. All right, let's get into technique now. So the 28 days is also followed every day by a really powerful technique, which we call deep coherence technique. It's 5 steps. It's like an expedited meditation, but it's full body. And it really brings you into yourself, centers you, and gives you a presence, a now presence. And a lot of people are finding this beneficial. So if you're new, just follow the cues. Step number one, we always start by putting our feet on the ground. Let's calm the mind. Take a few deep breaths. Bring our presence and focus and consciousness now inside the body. Quietening the mind and bringing our focus down to the soles of our feet. So drop down into the soles of your feet that are on the ground. And I want you to really connect in a sensory way to every part of the soles of your feet. So hold that feeling, hold it. And what I also want you to do is I want you to connect your consciousness to the ground beneath your feet, noticing the difference between the ground and the soles of your feet, and noticing how the ground feels, perhaps the texture or the temperature or the vibration of it. So hold those two feelings together, those two sensations. That's right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to close the gap. So we're going to connect the soles of our feet to the ground beneath them so that they become one. And now drop your focus, awareness, consciousness down through the soles of your feet and push down the ground. And as you do so, you're going to see a massive network of roots. It looks also like the fascia in our human body. Very fine, beautiful roots that go down. And they go down, 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 down through the many layers of the earth. So I want you to bring your consciousness and push it down through that network of roots, down through the layers of the earth, down, 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 down. Now, at the center of the earth is the earth's core. It is round, it is solid, it is black, and your roots are connected to it. You can enter the earth's core now. Inside the earth's core, it is black, it is warm, it feels safe, it feels familiar. And from this place, at the center of the earth, you also realize that you are connected to every living thing on this planet. You are one with everything. Now, from the core of the earth, there is a vibration, a resonance, a frequency. And that frequency is what makes you feel good when you go into nature. It's like the heartbeat of the earth. And you're experiencing that now, that frequency. And what I want you to do is I want you to leave the earth's core, go back up through your root system. But as you come up, you're going to bring with you what looks like a golden amber sap through your roots, but it's actually a frequency. It's a frequency that comes directly from the earth herself. And you're going to bring that up through your roots, all the way up, 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 until you reach the ground beneath your feet that are one with your feet. And so your feet are going to now feel heavy, warm, connected, relaxed. Now I'm going to count from 10 to 1. Close your eyes. And what I want you to see in your mind's eye is that golden amber frequency sap elixir vibration spiraling up, whooshing up into every nook and cranny of your body. There is nowhere it doesn't go. And all you've got to do is let go, to give it up. Let that frequency completely fill your body. By the time I get to 1, 1, I'm doing it in reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Feel the vibration from the earth herself filling your body, grounded and relaxed. Let's just spend a few seconds here. Just let go. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It just takes practice. Step number 1, grounded to the earth. Step number 2, we're going to activate the light body through breath. So we're going to breathe deeply 5 times, really deep breaths. In through the nose, count 4. Exhale more slowly through the mouth. You can count to about 8 or whatever's comfortable. The point of this type of breathing is to really flush your body with oxygen in a mindful way and to connect with the breath of life, which is prana, life force. In your mind's eye, as you breathe, I would love for you to visualize a beautiful glittering white light animating and activating your entire body as you breathe. 5 deep breaths along with me. Excuse me. Keep breathing deeply and mindfully like that, but don't make it the focus. Breathe as naturally as you can. Just keep breathing deeply. Step number 3, we're going to prime our electromagnetic field. This is your biofield. This is not separate from you. It's arm's length and it runs like a great big bubble around your body. It is intelligent. It is electromagnetic. It is from here that you receive information from your environment. And it is from here that you signal out to your environment who you are, why you are, what you are, all of that stuff. So we want to keep a clear electromagnetic field. Now, I use my hands because my hands are sensitized. All of our hands are. Your fingers act like antennae. Your palms are sensitized pads, a bit like a satellite dish. And you can actually screen your own field, move how you want. Probably better to close your eyes. And then just allow the sensory input from your hands to be your guide. In other words, go wherever your hands in this step want to go. Don't question it. Now, in time, you get so connected to your electromagnetic field, which is you. I mean, it's all you, that you can simply put your hands up like this and use them as satellite dishes. You can rotate them and you can scan your own electromagnetic field. Now, either in your mind's eye or from your hands themselves, you may receive information about something that is causing friction in your electromagnetic field. You can simply move in that direction. You can simply push your energy out through your hand, the palm of your hand, and you can force it out of your electromagnetic field like the Earth's orbit expels foreign objects and they burn up on the outside of our atmosphere. You can do the same. You're the same technology. Step number 3, electromagnetic field is primed. Primed for what? Primed for what comes next. Step 4, put your hands together, place them in front of your heart. Really push in and connect. The signals to the monkey mind that something sacred is about to begin, and it is. Open your hands gently, close your eyes, and imagine that you've opened the doorway to the heart center, which is a portal that connects you to the cosmos. So go through that doorway, and as you do, you enter into an enormous, beautiful, magnificent space. Now, I see this as a great chamber. You can see this any which way comes to you. Now, this space is illuminated by a brilliant light, but it's everywhere. It's effervescent. But as you enter, the light begins to collect together to form a ball or an orb of light. That orb of light comes down towards you, and you walk towards it. It is level with your chest, and as you walk towards it and become one with it, it grows, and it looks like a rising sun. It becomes brighter, warmer, and more glorious in the casting of its rays. What you've just done is you've activated your heart center and initiated an Om-powered I am connection. So feel that connection now and see those rays of light beaming out in all directions, 360, throughout your primed to receive it electromagnetic field. Now run those rays of light and power everywhere. Feel the brilliance of who you are. We call this Om-powered I am. And you can see it as your higher power, unlimited you, the space of genius. Now gently bring your hands back together for step number 5. And we're going to connect to the group. We're going to form this shape, triangle, with our hands. And we're going to place that over our third eye, enlightened mind. We're going to connect to the group, the community with us right now who's meditating alongside us. This is Power of 8. We're going to take the boosted vortex energy and we're going to bring it in to our primed electromagnetic field. This is permission-based, so either you decide to do it or you don't. But remember that you're grounded to the earth, and so you're held safe and secure. So I'm bringing this energy in like a beam of light down into my heart center, and my heart is a centrifugal device. And what the heart does is it generates waveforms more powerfully than the brain and any part of the body. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take all of the power that we've generated and we're going to create a waveform or a ripple on a lake, however you see it, of coherence. So feel that coherence running from your center, not your head, not your base chakra, not your feet. You're running this from your center. This will keep you grounded and centered. So waveform and ripple out coherence now, all the way to the edge of your electromagnetic field. That grounded coherence is going to run for you all day long. Sometimes we need a little bit more time to generate it, to connect, especially if we're distracted. Okay. Now we always close this technique in a very empowering way, affirmatively, because you're the one doing this. This comes from you. So repeat after me. And so it is. For I command my space and I bless my day. I bless my world and I bless everything in it. And we always say to you, notice what you notice today in the quantum field. It's always speaking to you. And everything that happens, know that it started from here. So have a wonderful day. And I will see you again very, very soon.